can be found at your chat box. Please mute your microphone during the sharing session, and we will have around 40 minutes presentation from the speaker, followed by Q&A, question and answer session. If you have any questions, just write them in the chat box available at your upper right hand side, whether in Zoom platform or in YouTube. So let us begin. Library and Information Science program were developed to enhance the competency of existing librarians and information practitioners, while at the same time producing a new breed of competent information professionals imbued with Islamic values to meet the diverse needs and demands of the job market. So the main objective of the LIS Industrial Talk is to enable the students to better visualize what they have learned in the library-related courses to the real industrial situations. Student exposure to real-life industries is important in the LIS curriculum as one aspect of active learning. Student learning should go beyond academics, where they can develop insights, critical minds, and obtain practical knowledge as well as theoretical applications. Furthermore, students are able to improve on cognitive complexity, intrapersonal and also interpersonal relationships, and practical competence. And for today, the LIS Industrial Talk will be a sharing session on cataloging and classification practices in academic medical library by Sister Emilia Ramzan. So let me share a brief profile of our speaker. Emilia Ramzan received a Master of Library and Information Science from International Islamic University Malaysia, IIUM, in 2012. She is a librarian at University College of Mawib International Library for more than 10 years. She has experience in formulating information literacy initiatives, developing Koha library system, setting up virtual library databases, and expanding research support unit. Currently, she is head of Information Services, System and Repository Division. She also managed the Clinical Campus Library branch as subject librarian for medical and health science faculties. Without further ado, I would like to invite the speaker to share her expert opinion on cataloging and classification practices in the academic medical library. Please welcome Sister Emilia.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sharifah, for the opening. Let me share my screen. How to share screen?
Bottom down, we have the button share screen.
Okay. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning. My topic today is cataloging and classification in academic medical library. Before I proceed, I would like to clarify that my library is not a pure medical library, because our collection consists also for non-medical subject such as social science, hotel management. So I cannot consider my library is a pure medical library. In Malaysia, medical library, we can see in HKL, we have one library, HKL, not us, I think Sister Noraida in charge of HKL Medical Library. And also they have medical library, not much medical library, not many medical library in Malaysia. NIH, National Institute of Health, they have one library. Medical library, basically, if your collection consists 90% medical subject and health science and medical subject, then you can say your library is a medical library. Okay, and a brief introduction about my college. Actually, UCMI is a short form for University College of Mawib International. We were started since 1993 as a nursing training center. Our college is a subsidiary company under Mawib, Islamic Federal Territory Religious Council. Same like QUIS, same like QUIPS, and same like QUIM, and USAS. And we are considered as private institution, not a public. Sorry. And then we changed our name to PCOMS, Pushrawi International College of Medical Science, in 2012. I started in charge of clinical campus since 2012. Started from the scratch, start collection development, and then we upgrade to University College in 2018. And then last year we upgrade to Mawib University College. We changed our name from PCOMS to Mawib University College because they don't like use PCOMS because PCOM actually is a short form from Pushrawi International College of Medical Science, not even related to computer or network subject. That's why they changed the name of PCOMS to Mawib University College. We have 2 librarians, 1 librarian in Batu Muda campus and 3 library assistant. Me at the clinical campus and 1 library assistant. We have 2 library, main campus at the Batu Muda, just few blocks from the IIC college. I will show you Google Street View of my library. Okay, this is our main campus library. Just a small library. We don't have much shelf because at the initial the library start at the clinical campus, and then we make one library at Batu Muda. Then this library will be a main campus. More books on medical at our campus, clinical boarding campus. This is the old picture captured by Google Street View in 2020, just before COVID. Okay, then back to my PowerPoint. Then, okay, this is our library organization. We have 4 divisions. First, library administration, and then collection development, information services, and system repository. I left cataloging collection development division, and I left cataloging work since 2020. But I still can present a bit about to share today about cataloging. And now I'm in charge for information services and system and repository. Under me, I'm in charge of circulation, reference, library website, information literacy class, and research support. I also in charge of library system, Koha library system, virtual library, library database, and repository. Upcoming, we are going to develop our repository. Cataloging practice. Okay, before we start cataloging practice, we have our cataloging policy. Cataloging policy is a formal document. Let me share with you. It's a formal document to stated what you do, what we practice, what we don't practice. For example, items to catalog. We don't catalog subscribe item. For example, ebooks and online journal. We don't catalog. So cataloging policy also can be considered to protect our library if some stakeholder or people ask, oh, why don't you catalog this item? So we can say we don't catalog ebook or serial subscribe ebook or serial because it is not permanent in our collection.
Sister Emilia, we can't see are you sharing your file?
Yeah.
On cataloging policy, we can't see that. It's not appear.
I'm sharing my policy. Can you see? Wait. Okay, this one. Can you see?
Okay, yes.
Okay, this is our cataloging policy. Okay. Cataloging, we have cataloging policy is just a simple, but it's a formal document. Actually, we have a collection development policy and other policy in LibraryNet. And of course, cataloging, we also have our own policy. It's just a formal document to tell people what we catalog, what we don't catalog. Okay, and then what standard we use, REA, and then what subject cataloging we use and classification. That's all. And then we have cataloging input sheet. Cataloging input sheet. I don't think you can you see cataloging input sheet?
Not yet.
Cataloging input sheet. Okay, this one. This is cataloging input sheet. Actually, it's just a guideline for those who catalog the item in our library. Then this is our martech lah. What they need to include in the martech field, what indicator, first indicator, second indicator, and then since we changed to RDA, the martech 336, 337, 338, this is for books lah. And then just a simple, just like a notes to a librarian. And then okay, cataloging tools. Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, we use RDA and also RDA guidelines by PNM. I think PNM give us this book free. I don't have the hard copy here at the hard copy at the HQ. Have you ever used this RDA guideline in your class, doctor?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have to
RDA work form and we are following the SDG. This one is Panduan RDA Malaysia, right?
Yes, very useful for those who are still trying to understand about the RDA.
Yes.
And this guideline will assist you how to key in the data in martech according to the what type of bibliography you choose. Okay, and then we use, of course, we use MAT21 to encode the data. And subject heading, for health and medical material, we use mesh subject heading and NLM classification. NLM is stand for National Library of Medicine. And for non-medical material, we use LOC and Library of Congress subject heading. Okay. Okay, this is a NLM classification. Let's just show you the poster. Okay, this is NLM classification. Okay, can you see? There's a lot classification start from QS until WZ. I don't memorize all these things, but when I practice cataloging, I get used to it. WA, WC. I don't have to memorize, but I have to make sure I'm familiar with the classification to help me in cataloging. And then let me show you some of the books that we have cataloged. Okay, this is WG chef. Actually, at the shelf, one shelf, we provide one shelf to one subject. We cannot mix with other subject. For example, this subject is WG, is about cardiology. At the shelf number 106, and this one about WB, classification WB is under practice or medicine, shelf number 78. And then shelf number 167 about pediatric nursing. And this one also psychiatric mental health nursing. Different shelf because they have a different subject. Then we comes to the challenges in cataloging. There are three. I find out there are three challenges. The first is a subject cataloging, and then the second one inadequacy of classification in NLM, and then the third one, of course, repair all data. Okay, let's see subject cataloging. What are the challenges? Okay, as we know, there are two parts in cataloging. The first phase is a descriptive cataloging, which is you just key in about the title of the books, the publisher, the author, and the physical description. And then the hardest part is actually at the phase 2, which is I'm doing subject cataloging, at the part subject analysis, subject heading, and to assign classification. It really tests my decision-making skills because, for example, I give you an example. Let me see at the NLM classification. If the book is about psychiatric nursing, would you catalog under psychiatry, WM, or you want to catalog is under WY? Because in WY, nursing, they have their own classification for psychiatric nursing, specialized in nursing, WY 160.
160, special field of medicine.
Okay, this one. This is NLI classification. Let's see WY. WY 160. WY 160. Okay, this one, psychiatric nursing. So are you going to make it broad or to make it narrow in your collection? Because my method is classification first, and then I assign subject heading, because I need to know where the book at the shelf, where we place the book at the shelf before we assign subject heading. And then another challenges is the call number QY and WY. There's one book. Let me show catalog, our library catalog. Okay, this book, the title is Mosby Diagnostic and Laboratory Test Reference. Okay, at a glance, I think this book is for a diploma in medical laboratory technology student. But actually, this book is for nursing student. But at the subject, the NLM classification is not WY, because this is the test reference, or we call it a book consists of all the diagnostic and laboratory tests and helping nursing student to understand what are the patient care that they need to do during their procedure. So why the subject heading, they don't have any subject heading for nursing? Because at the book, let me show you the book. At the book here, here's the book. At the book here, they have nursing, medical surgical nursing subject. So this is so there is one subject heading left here. They should include medical surgical nursing subject heading here. So that the nursing student can find this book at your back. Okay. And okay. And then the second challenges is inadequacy of NLM classification. Okay, NLM classification, let me show you WB555. Sorry. Okay. WB5555. Okay. WB555 NLM employ for the subject of occupational therapy. In our college, let me see, WB5555. Okay, here. WB555. NLM give occupational therapy only WB555, which is, I don't think this classification is enough for occupational therapy, because occupational therapy is a big field in rehabilitation medicine compared to WB205. WB205 actually, why they have PE, physical examination. WB205 is a physical examination. Physical examination is just part of procedure in medical. But why NLM can give more, can employ more classification to physical examination compared to occupational therapy, WB5555. And I don't like NLM because of this. Because for me, occupational therapy is a big subject. They need to more specific under occupational therapy. Okay. And then the last one is repair all data. When we do cataloging, we can maybe we made a mistake from the previous work, so we need to repair the data. Maybe if you want to change the subject headings, yeah, you can change to meet the needs of library user. And then another challenge is repetitive work, because cataloging is not same as I teach information literacy, because cataloging, I have to do it repeatedly and just follow the procedure. Do it again and again with Mark 21. Key in the same thing, the same bibliographic data, and it's a tedious work, and it's really cumbersome, and it's really complex. So if you ask me, cataloging is not my favorite task actually. Okay, and then the last one, cataloging ethics. Cataloging ethics. Cataloging ethics. So far we don't have encountered any issue on cataloging ethics because we don't have any controversial item or controversial book or banned book. Compare in the Western country, they have cataloging codes of ethics. Because maybe some librarian out there may have personal judgment when they catalog the item. For me, when I catalog the item, I have to be professional. Set aside if we have a negative perception, if we know the author, set aside and then do it professionally. Okay, for example, this book, SRP Manual of Surgery. If we see the book is quite scary, if I use my personal judgment, I don't want to catalog this book because it's scary. Inside also scary. And then it is a book from India, JP Publication. JP is a most prominent publisher for medical books, medical textbooks. And some lecturers say, okay, book from JP from India is not good. So when I received that kind of perception from the lecturer, so I cannot accept that perception and when I catalog the item. So I have to be professionally catalog the item. Although I don't like publisher, I don't like the main page. And then just focus on what the author intend and just focus who is our audience. I think that's all from me, Doctor.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe slide.
Okay, so thank you very much, Sister Emilia, for interesting and very fruitful information. I think this is a new knowledge for us in regarding medical library in this LIS industrial talk. So now it's time for the Q&A session. Any question from the floor? Despite from Zoom platform, we also have the audience at the YouTube. Okay, so perhaps is there any questions from the floor that you want, any point that you want to raise pertaining to this cataloging of Islamic field and medical field? Okay, while waiting for others to ask the question, okay, so I would like to ask, you said that in UCMI, you are practicing for the classification and subject heading, you are using NLM or MESH, right?
Yes.
So at the same time, are you using LCACH or LCC? I mean, just to cater for the public?
Yeah, we use LOC also for the Faculty of Management. We have some books for Faculty of Management, for hotel subject, for logistics subject. So we use LOC. So we mix at the shelf. We mix LOC and NLM.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So like you give example for us just now on book on medical on nursing, right? That you said that they are lacking on one of the subject heading, which is the book is actually cater for the nursing, but the subject headings they are left on that particular heading, right? I mean they are using what rehab
occupational therapy.
Occupational therapy, right? So how do you tackle this issue? Meaning could you
I have to classify the books under pediatric.
Oh, I see.
Because occupational therapy and pediatric has a high significance each other. So I have to use WS.
This one is from the cataloger's judgment, or you just you get all the information from the patron first?
I see other catalogs what they have been practiced, and I have no choice, so I have to use pediatric.
So because that it is really helpful for the students. I mean, when they want to find that book using that kind of keyword, so they can find
Yeah, I hope when I put in under WS pediatric under pediatric subject, I hope they can find the book lah.
Yeah, maybe I mean perhaps they could have some issues kan the audience.
Yeah.
Maybe they just said that okay, when I enter these keywords I couldn't find this intended books ke whatsoever, so perhaps the cataloger can do something on that.
Yeah.
To cater for that issue. So I want to ask you another questions on what's your opinion on the centralized cataloging. So you know that for academic library, right, we do have the branch library also that dedicated for special collection. Like for example in IUM, we have the medical library in Kuantan, for example. We have the medical collections that resides in Kuantan. But before this, the cataloging practice is there. They are not sharing the cataloging practice. I mean that all the cataloging have been done in Kuantan. But right now, they do all the centralized cataloging. All books that received all medical books will be catalogued by the central, and then the book will go to the particular branch. So what's your opinion on the centralized cataloging itself? Is it helpful for the...
Okay. IUM Kuantan, I used to see their catalog. I used to see your medical book, but I'm a bit surprised because they don't use NLM classification.
Yes, correct.
The first and I'm still asking why they don't use NLM classification, because of course their student, they have pharmacy, they have many students in physiotherapy, in nursing. So I'm not sure why they ask cataloger from HQ to catalog the item and then send to IUM.
I don't know, maybe in my opinion that this is one of the budget constraint lah. You know that, just to have one system rather than to have two systems. I mean, they just do everything in central, okay, and then just put everything at the but with that kind of method, I don't think that this is useful or can give a new knowledge. Can we can have a very skillful cataloger, right? In medical. So this is what also I'm quite surprising also when I heard this news that all the medical resources that we have in Kuantan has been catalogued in Central, in Gomak. So I don't know what are their intention or what are their reason on doing that. Okay, maybe perhaps they have their justification lah on that. But perhaps it is good to have the NLM classification, right? Because they cater for the very specific medical library over there.
Yes. Whether catalog at the HQ or at the Kuantan, I think it doesn't matter. But okay, being cataloger, our main objective is to ensure that our library user can access the library catalog.
Okay.
And I think I'm sorry if I say something bad about Kuantan. No. Why the first thing, why they don't use NLM classification? I think compared to our library is small compared to IIMUM Kuantan, and then of course IIM Kuantan have more books than us, yes. And then they should use NLM classification. I never asked about from their librarian. But when you catalog the item from the main campus, what's the difference?
Yeah, the difference is that they will using the LCC and also the LCSH, not using the NLM. And this is, for me, I'm quite agree with you, because when they are cataloging using the basic, not using the NLM standard, they are not cater for the user. I mean, because we know that medical students will use their terms, right, to find the book, yes. To find to use the keywords and so forth. But when they are using the LCSH and also using the LCC to catalog the item, so meaning that it is quite contra with the keywords is different lah.
Yeah, the subject heading cannot fulfill the medical
yes,
terms.
Correct. That's why we have the special thesaurus for that kind of medical resources. So this is maybe this is the long discussion that we can have further with university library later. Okay, so how do you have any opinion with other university? I mean, academic library library like UKM.
I think there's one library, good library, Tidanaraj Library.
Okay,
I think
this
they
is
use
specific dedicated to medical resources,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
And they are using NLM, right?
Yes. I think most of library and also HUSM Kubang Korean, they also use NLM classification.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, his UKM also, they are using the NLM. Okay, so maybe this of the issues lah that could be further discussed with them. Okay, later. Okay, so and another question is that okay, do you think that you said that at the first place do you are not satisfied using NLM, right? Because some of the headings supposed not to be there, like for example that you said that physical examination, right? And another one is occupational therapy should be expanded. Okay, so do you what hospitality? I mean to add the expansion.
Can you repeat? Yeah, there is hang. Your internet connection is stable.
Okay, so meaning that you said that okay, you are not satisfied with the NLM in some aspect. Okay, for example, in physical examination, they should not be there. Okay, and another one is that for we should expand more on the occupational therapy.
Occupational therapy, yes.
Yes. Okay, so do you think that in your library, do you practice any local expansion for this kind of?
Oh no. We cannot simply make
no, I mean
this
is just for local, because like for example we have the in IUM we have the Islamic collection, for example. Okay, and you know that LCC or LCSH did not cater much more on this kind of headings, and we have the local punya file or local punya policy, then yes, we can add. I mean, we know the LCC can it is a hospitable, we can insert the expansion, right? So maybe perhaps this is your practice lah to add. Or just follow.
For NLM, I'm not sure if NLM have flexibility on the expansion. Okay. Yeah.
So you just
I don't think that explain.
For example, if you think that maybe the item that you have, it is too specific, for example, but NLM classification is too broad, so you just put in the broad one lah, the whatever that they
yes, in the broad one.
Okay.
Because I have no sure to narrow down the subject.
Okay. So that's all from me. So any question from the floor? Do we have any questions in the YouTube? Let me see. Wait. Okay, so one student have asked that how about the students' awareness in accessing the medical books?
We have information literacy class, and then we use information literacy class to explain about.
So it is compulsory for the students, information literacy?
Yes, it's a compulsory, especially for new students.
Okay. So how about the collection development? I mean the acquisition. So every semester you will ask the lecturer or?
We start with January. We follow the accounting department year, not academic year.
Oh, I see.
So we follow for January. Yeah, we start. I'm also a librarian. I start to collect all the list from the lecturer to buy any books.
Okay. All right. So I think that's all the question from the floor. Okay, thank you very much, Sister Emilia. Inshallah, I think we are looking forward to having you again in the future. So it is very good information and very good explanation on the cataloging.
Maybe you can find someone from pure medical library.
Perhaps, inshallah, because I used to be in HKL before this. I mean, like the HKL library. but long time ago during the collection development. But I believe that maybe perhaps next semester we will touch more on this special subject on this medical subject, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So thank
Okay,
you very much to the organizer, Department of Library and Information Science, KICT IUM, and co-organizing of Office of Responsible and Research Innovation for organizing this seminar. Thank you everyone for your participation to this industrial talk. So we hope to see you again next time, inshallah. So let's end our event with Tasbih, Farah, and Suratul As. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum.